people in America have lawns, and the grasses that are above ground that you see on top, that height of the grass is about the height of the roots, the depth of the roots in the soil. And so when it rains, the lawns are not very good at actually soaking up water. So the water just tends to kind of roll off of the lawns and go into the pipe system or the stream or the roadway or whatever. So even though it's green, it's not necessarily taking up water. So with green stormwater infrastructure techniques, landscape designers that really understand plants can use both soils that are really good at absorbing water and plants that have really deep root systems. So when that water comes to them, they can actually capture the water and hold on to it and slow things down significantly and keep it from getting into the sewer infrastructure.
Into the pollution system, yeah. So, and if about not only, so it's interesting how it's possible to finance such a big sector of ecology. Yeah? So how did you find sponsors for this ecology?
That's a great question. So we rely heavily on philanthropy, grant-making organizations that are formed where someone that once had a lot of money forms a foundation and they literally just exist in order to give money away. There are sometimes public sector grants, so grants that come from the government at different levels, and we just try to be smart about figuring out who might be interested in doing this. But in some cases, what we've been able to do is there might be an environmental law that is dealing with water quality issues. In fact, there are many water quality laws, and because the city needs to comply with that law, they know that they have to either do it in sort of a gray way or a green way. And if we're able to explain to them how doing it in a green way makes sense and how it will have other benefits, they may be able to satisfy their requirements under the law through a project that we collaborate on. And so everybody wins because we may get a more beautiful park, we may get stormwater management, and they're getting better water quality, which the government is telling them they have to have anyway. And so they're willing to put funding into the project to make it happen rather than doing the project in a different way without green stormwater infrastructure. So it's really just about kind of being strategic and finding partners that have different reasons for investing in that project. In the private sector in the United States, some cities have requirements that if you are making stormwater, in essence, if you are making wastewater, you actually have to pay for how much you're making. So, when we turn on the tap and we drink our drinking water, we have a meter, and say we use X gallons of water that month, we pay a bill for that. We pay a bill for how many times we flush the toilet or empty the dishwasher or whatever. But if you have a big parking lot or if you have a big giant roof and you've got lots of rainwater running off of it, in many cities you don't pay anything for that. It's just sort of the cost of doing business for the public. The public ends up paying for it in our rates. In many cities, they are now charging businesses or property owners a fee for creating that stormwater, and that fee then goes to it's in a way a carrot or an incentive for those places not to create as much stormwater in the first place. So that way their fee will go down.
Yeah.
So then they begin to create
special parking lots, with the drainage system.
Exactly.
So this drainage system is really great.
That's right.
So do you think it's do you have the technology here, or it's really new and it's really maybe you have a copyright on this thing?
There's no copyrights.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's widely available and widely used. I think the things that need to be studied carefully are just soil types and vegetation types that are successful, but the concepts are very easy to understand and use. partners, and there are a lot of landscape architects and other professionals that are really specializing in this work around the world. Closer than the United States, there's a lot of this work happening in the Netherlands and other countries in Europe that are really focusing on this. So I know a lot of landscape architects in the United States have actually come to Europe to learn some of these techniques and brought it back to us. So there's a lot of that exchange happening, and I think it's not really rocket science, as they say. It's not really like major technology. It's just kind of a different approach.
Interesting. And how much do you pay? How much does it cost to make this? For example, let's imagine that we would want to make a parking lot, for example, for 100 square meters. How much will it cost to make it?
It depends. I mean, it's not a question that I can just answer exactly.
Just approximately, just maybe.
I can't even approximate it. I mean, it just really depends on the situation. It depends on what type of pavement you want to use, what the plant composition is. There isn't variation from how much to how much. It's the difference. So there. Yeah, but anyway, it's possible to find this information, online, so it's
you have...
yes, I mean, it's not, there is what they call, sometimes it does not necessarily make sense to do a really big green infrastructure project because you have to look at what the cost is to treat the water and sort of back your way from that cost and understand, would it be simpler, would it be less expensive to do it in a more traditional way? But in many cases, when you're able to calculate the other benefits that you're getting from that project, I don't know if you remember in my presentation, I had a chart where it was showing increased property values, increased recreational values, increased carbon reduction, etc. When we look at that type of full cost accounting, which in the United States, we don't often do it that way. We just sort of look at one number and not all of these other benefits. But when you begin to look at those other benefits, suddenly green infrastructure is much more valuable.
Efficient, yes.
Exactly.
They're here. So they're still here. Still here. But maybe we can try to finish up. Thank you a lot. Thank you very much.